Let me show you how to crack the wealth code in real estate. Join me as I dive into the world of real estate and see if I can turn a profit. Let's be honest, the idea of using real estate to build wealth sounds amazing, right? You hear stories of people quitting their jobs, living off rental income, and building a future full of freedom. And the truth is, it's not just hype. Real estate has helped millions change their financial lives. But how? And more importantly, can you do it? That's what we're exploring today. Real estate isn't just about flipping houses. It's about creating a system for income, equity, and wealth. Property is more than just a place to live. So here's the big question. Can regular people really use real estate to build wealth, even if they don't have a lot of money to start with? The short answer is yes. Let's unpack it. One of the biggest myths about real estate is that you need to be rich to start. When you hear about homes costing $500,000, it sounds out of reach. But here's the truth. There are ways to get started with little to no money down. You don't need a fortune in the bank to invest. House hacking. Buy a duplex, live in one unit, rent out the other to cover your mortgage. You can explore partnering with others where one brings the money and the other brings the effort. There are rent-to-own opportunities if you know where to look. It's not about having tons of cash, it's about getting creative and doing your homework. What if the market crashes? What if you buy a bad property? Real estate isn't risk-free. Here's the key. You can manage risks with the right strategy, the right team, and by doing your due diligence. Evaluating a property before buying is crucial. Understanding rent, expenses, and cash flow is key. Proper tenant screening saves headaches. Always have a backup plan. Fear is normal, but you can't let it paralyze you. Every successful investor started with zero experience. Another misconception is that real estate is too complicated. Yes, there's a learning curve, but it's not rocket science. There are books, podcasts, YouTube channels, and online communities for learning and growth. If you can pass exams, you can learn real estate investing. What are your options in real estate investing? Let's break down the most common types. First, residential properties. They're often the easiest place to start for new investors. Second, rental properties. These can be residential or commercial, creating passive income. Buy the property, rent it out, and ideally the rent covers your costs and gives you profit. Commercial real estate. Think office buildings, retail shops, or even industrial warehouses. These can provide higher returns but need more knowledge. Buying a rundown property, fixing it up and selling it for profit. Flipping can be profitable, but it carries higher risk. Real estate can help you diversify your investments. Most people put their money into stocks or mutual funds, but those assets are tied to the market and markets fluctuate. Real estate is a tangible asset. You can see it, touch it, and manage it. Property values tend to rise over time. Real estate offers leverage. With a small down payment, you can control a much larger asset. Put $20,000 down on a $400,000 home. If it rises to $440,000, that's a $40,000 gain. On a $20,000 investment, that's leverage. Let me share a quick story. Someone I know started with one small rental property. They rented it out and slowly built up from there. Now they own a portfolio of properties, bringing in consistent monthly income. They travel, spend time with family, and teach others. The best part, they didn't start with millions. They just started with a goal, some knowledge, and the willingness to act. Now they're helping others take their first steps into real estate. That's what this is really about. Building freedom, then helping others do the same. And their story isn't some rare miracle. There are thousands of stories like it. So if you've ever thought real estate's not for me, I want you to ask yourself, why not? If others can do it, so can you. Real estate is a long-term game. It requires patience and planning. If you're serious about building wealth and breaking free from the paycheck-to-paycheck grind, this path is worth exploring. Real estate is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools. You don't need to be rich to start. Invest in rentals, flips, or partnerships. With the right education, you can reduce risk and grow your money. Real estate is about freedom. Got thoughts on real estate? Share your experience below. I'd love to hear them. For more strategies and stories and ways to control your finances, watch my next video on smart investing. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Leave a comment. Thanks for watching. And here's to cracking the wealth code, one property at a time.